January 12, 2010, 4:53 p.m., Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Evans is finishing his shift at the La Saline marketplace where he sells rice to the evening rush. The air is humid, filled with the noise of haggling vendors and traffic. Then the ground rolls like ocean water. Within seconds, the roar becomes deafening as the concrete flea market disintegrates. Evans tries to run, but the floor drops out from under him. A slab of ceiling slams down, pinning him instantly. He is trapped on his side, compressed into a coffin-sized pocket of air. His first assessment is bleak. He cannot move his legs, he cannot see his hand in front of his face, and the weight of the city is on top of him. The first night. The screaming is constant. Hundreds of voices cry out from the darkness around him. Men, women, children, all trapped in similar pockets. Evans lies paralyzed, his hips grinding against the debris with every aftershock. His immediate problem is not the pain, but the dust. It fills the small cavity, clogging his throat and coating his lungs. He tries to cough, but the space is too tight to expand his chest fully. But that was about to change. By day 3, the screaming stops. The silence that replaces it is heavy and terrifying. Evans realizes he's the only one left alive in his section. The heat in the pocket rises as decomposition begins around him. He calls out for his mother, for God, but his voice is swallowed by the tons of concrete. He tries to shift his weight to relieve the pressure on his sores, but the jagged rebar bites into his flesh. He makes a choice. Stop moving. Conserve every ounce of energy. He lays still, listening to the silence of the dead. Days bleed into weeks. The thirst evolves from a craving into a delirium. His kidneys are shutting down. His blood is thickening. Then a new horror emerges. The smell of the decaying bodies around him becomes overpowering, mixing with the scent of ruptured sewer lines running beneath the market. That's when he feels moisture. A foul, dark liquid is trickling down through the cracks in the rubble, pooling near his shoulder. It is sewage, contaminated, fetid water mixed with debris. Evans knows drinking it is suicide, but his body has overridden his logic. He dips his finger into the muck and swallows. It burns his throat. His mind begins to fracture. He starts hallucinating. He sees a man in a white coat bringing him trays of fried plantains and rice. He reaches out to grab the food, but his hand hits cold stone. He laughs, then cries, then passes out. He wakes up and drinks the sewage again. He creates a cycle. Sleep, hallucinate, drink filth, repeat. He has lost all concept of time. He believes he has been down there for 2 days, maybe 3. In reality, nearly a month has passed. He is rotting alive, his body consuming its own muscle for fuel. February 8th. Evans hears a vibration. It's not the rumble of an aftershock, but the rhythmic thud scrape of metal on stone. Someone is digging. He tries to shout, but his voice is a dry rasp, barely a whisper. He is 60 pounds lighter than when he fell. His eyes are sunken into his skull, and his skin is paper thin. What happened next? He summons the last reserve of adrenaline in his wasted body. He scratches his fingernails against the concrete slab above him. Scrape, scrape, scrape. It's a pathetic sound, tiny against the noise of the excavators above. He does it until his fingers bleed. He stops, listens. The digging gets louder, the vibration gets stronger. Suddenly, a beam of sunlight slices through the darkness, blinding him. The air rushes in, fresh, hot air. He sees a silhouette. A worker clearing the rubble for demolition has spotted a hand. The rescuers freeze. They were looking for bodies, not survivors. They scramble to widen the hole, shouting for water. Evans cannot help them. He's entirely limp. It takes hours to carefully cut the rebar caging him in without collapsing the pocket. When they finally pull him free, the crowd gasps. Within minutes, he is laid on a stretcher, his body shocking in its emaciation. He looks like a skeleton wrapped in brown parchment. He tries to speak, but only a croak comes out. He is rushed to a Salvation Army field clinic, then transferred to the University of Miami Field Hospital. Doctors are baffled. He has survived 27 days without fresh water or food. It's medically impossible. They check his vitals. His pulse is thready. He is severely dehydrated and has deep, necrotic sores on his hips. But his heart is beating. If the demolition crew had arrived 1 hour later or used a bulldozer instead of hand tools, he would have been crushed instantly. Evans is flown to Tampa, Florida for specialized trauma care. He has lost nearly 60 pounds, dropping from roughly 150 pounds to 88. The recovery is agonizing. He requires months of rehabilitation to learn to walk again as his atrophied muscles slowly rebuild. The sewage water, miraculously, did not kill him, though it left him with severe infections. Psychologically, the scars are permanent. He still has nightmares of the darkness and the smell of the market. He tells reporters, "I still don't understand how I'm here. The fact that I'm alive today isn't because of me." Experts confirm his survival is the longest recorded for anyone buried under earthquake rubble. Statistically, he should have died by day 5. Now he lives a quiet life, a walking medical anomaly who stared into the abyss for a month and blinked last. The concrete took his livelihood and his health, but it could not take his breath.